Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. So I'll post the link.
I will be tweeting it.
Live stream. Style. We are live.
Woo! We're live. Exciting. There'll be a little bit of a delay on YouTube, but
Yeah.
awesome. So, can people see us, or people are seeing the Google Meet right now?
Are they seeing the Google Meet?
Got it.
Yeah. Do you want the camera to?
Yeah, if you could show us for a second,
Sounds
just so I could intro and then
Sounds good.
go through the ground rules.
Just 1 second. I need to restore the macOS audio.
And then let me put the links in.
Okay.
The places. Can I mention everyone in Telegram? Ready? Okay, cool. Yeah, so earlier this year we open sourced everything, Gumroad, Flexile, Helper, all of our projects, and we've seen a lot of contributions, which is pretty cool. And AI certainly has made it easier for people to contribute, but sometimes the code is not exactly where it needs to be to get merged into production and actually benefit customers, benefit users. So we thought we would start with this sort of weekly live stream where we actually review people's code, just like you would in a sort of corporate, tech startup environment, et cetera. The hope being that basically it is a really great resource on actually learning how to ship world-class production code. And a lot of the stuff is 80% there, but it kind of has to be 100% there. So we're going to go through Flexile.com, this contractor management solution that we built. That's open source, and go through as many pull requests over the next couple hours and see how much we can actually get merged in. Yeah, so we have a few things picked out. We have a chat on YouTube and Telegram that we'll go through. So we have generally have last time we had about 50 people, 40, 50 people tune in and ask questions. And yeah, so that's kind of the context. We have a bunch of people from Gumroad here, me, Sahil, Urshad, and then on the call we have Sharang, Laura, and Maya. Really great engineers and designer, and we're gonna get going. Awesome. Anything you want to add? Any feedback from last week? Last week I think went pretty well.
Yeah. So the last week the last week's session went really well. We were not able to merge pull requests, but we were able to give very helpful feedback.
Yeah.
And that shows in the pull requests that created after that session. So
yeah, there's already a step function improvement in that, which makes sense if you really, there's maybe let's say 100 different points of feedback in that video. If you actually apply all of those things, yeah, you'll improve. And that's generally how you get better, right? You get feedback, and then you react to the feedback, and then you get more feedback, and you react to the feedback, and you do that until, until you don't get that much feedback anymore, basically.
That's true. Awesome. So we will begin with user impersonation PR in Flexile.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was sent by Nazar.
Yeah, and generally we're going to go oldest to newest, but this one I think is a good one to review. And maybe we can start by explaining some of the context behind the PR. As you mentioned, there's been a couple different attempts at this. Could you also zoom in a little bit, just increase the font size? Right?
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, so previously we were thinking of implementing this feature using a rake function. So we wanted a function that could help the admin impersonate as another user, but we changed that approach. We wanted an user interface in Flexile for the admins to impersonate as a different user. And this feature is mainly used for support. We can log into another person's account and see what's going on if they report any issues. And this feature is a bit tricky to implement because we need to handle different user sessions in both Next.js application and Rails backend. So it's a bit tricky here, and we can see there are like 24 files changed with 468.
There's also a lot of security implications
Yes.
of this kind of feature. If you build it incorrectly, someone could impersonate someone even if they're not an admin. So these are all things that, as the tests are written and manual testing is done and stuff, and in the review process, really want to make sure that doesn't happen. So.
Yeah. So the requirement for this PR is number one, the admin should be able to impersonate as another user through an user interface within Flexile, and also the admin should be able to unbecome as that user. So the admin should be able to go back to admins that particular user's session itself. So let's see whether this PR has implemented those features.
Awesome.
So on a first look, we can see a bunch of videos, inline comments, which are great.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like this is a good example of someone who watched the stream last week, and
Absolutely.
The formatting is like really nice to read. The videos are all in line.
Sure.
It's a very elegantly written pull request. Nice. You have both a combination of images and videos, depending on like what makes the most sense.
Sure.
Very nice.
Let's start with playing the video.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Okay, I'll slow down a bit here. So this is the admin interface that we have within Flexile. We are going to a user show page. There is an impersonate button, just as we mentioned in the requirements. Okay, setting up session. Okay, so the user changed to worker@flexile.com. Great.
It would be nice not to have, maybe we need it because of Rails and Next, but that interstitial page, like, do we need the interstitial page? Because wouldn't you just redirect to some Rails route that just does some cookie stuff and then takes
Yeah,
you here?
do you mean this page?
Like this one?
This one?
Yeah.
It's probably not needed, but it's okay. I think
Yeah,
it's
there's
fine.
more UI and stuff that we have to, we don't really use this layout anymore that much, like with the Flexile header at the top. Like, it's kind of this old onboarding layout. And we still use a little bit, but it's just,
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay, so the user was worker and impersonated, went to worker, and where is the unbecome button? Oh, this is stop impersonating.
Stop in person.
Yeah. So do you think?
Well, in this one it's black, but in the other one, in the image, it's red. If you scroll down in dark mode, I guess.
Okay.
So if you scroll down, you see it's red.
Oh, it's red. Okay. Oh, yeah.
So I don't know why, or maybe mobile. It should be red in both, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. It feels like an important
Yeah.
admin action that should be distinct UI from the rest of the UI, because it's not really UI that the user would see. It kind of hints that like this is like a special thing.
Makes sense. Do you think we should name it as stop impersonating, or do you have any feedback on any different wording that we can use?
I think that's fine. We could say unbecome. Generally, I like to copy Gumroad's patterns here.
Okay.
Because I feel like we've sort of, tried a lot of things with Gumroad, so the stuff that sticks is probably pretty good. And Gumroad, it looks like unbecome.
Unbecome.
Yeah, unbecome, I think is probably a bit better.
Okay. So in that
But
case,
it's not that big a deal.
yeah, true. In that case, should we change this button from impersonate to become?
I like impersonate.
Impersonate, okay.
Yeah. I know it's kind of weird, impersonate, unbecome.
and
I know,
become, yeah.
but so we can keep it. If we're debating it, it's not worth debating. So
Sounds good.
So we can keep it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, there's a new function here, impersonate a company. Let's see what that does.
So presumably, you would impersonate the primary admin.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think we should be able to impersonate a company. Like, I mean, actually, I don't know. Maybe we should be able to. You would normally just go to the primary admin user and then impersonate them.
Yeah.
It's a little strange to offer this, I think, but maybe it's a nice shortcut.
Yes, it looks like it. So in this case, we are going to admin users page, and here we are going to admin companies page. So that's the only difference. Probably in the backend, we are just impersonating one user.
Yeah. I still think it's a little strange. Like, it's a little bit of a magic trick that I don't know if I like. I'd rather like expose the admin from this page, click the admin, and then become the admin.
Makes sense.
Because, like, what if, let's say someone emails in that isn't an admin, but they email about the company, but you think it's an admin, and then you impersonate the company, but you know, like their email, I don't know, like it just feels like a little bit of a security risk.
Yeah. So we can restrict the feature to just users.
I think so, yeah. Less is more, less is more.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rest are inline comments here. We can go to the code diff and see how it's implemented. Okay, so this is admin. Yeah.
One thing, do you think we should maybe add something more prominent, like a banner or so it's pretty clear that you are impersonating someone? Because right now I see that there's only something in the navigation.
For Gumroad, it doesn't seem to be necessary. I guess because the people using the tool are very sophisticated, so it. But yeah.
But I do agree. Sometimes when I
You don't know that?
when I debug issues, I have to
forget
explicitly look for whether somebody's.
And it is weird in Gumroad because it's like hidden behind the popover too.
True.
Yeah, I'm open to that. I just don't want the worry I have is like a UI element that changes significantly the whole layout that like you're not looking at what a user would be looking at. In terms of when you're designing for something, you may not be.
True. How about a top bar, like a small red top bar at the top?
Yeah, something. Yeah.
What Clerk did was have like a little pop, like overlay, similar to what Next does with like the dev mode thing. They had like in like a corner they had like just a little eye catcher saying you're impersonating that person, and like you could click on it and then like stop impersonating from there.
Yeah, more of a hover, like a little hover bar thing.
Makes sense.
More than a banner, so that it doesn't affect the layout at all. Might be good. Yeah.
Yeah, like an absolutely positioned thing, basically.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Cool.
Great. So in the backend, there's an authenticate user method. It is redirecting to request full path. This authenticate admin. Okay, so we have authenticate user and authenticate admin functions. Let's see what they do. So in here,
And these are all private methods that they've created.
yeah,
They put this under private.
yeah, this is a good pattern. So maybe this method doesn't need to be public, so it's good to be in private. Let's see what they are calling. So before action, authenticate user over here. Okay. So admin users control impersonate, find by external ID, authorize user, and redirect, generate impersonation URL over here. Because resource could not be accessed.
Why do we have allow other hosts true?
Good question. In this case, yeah, so I think the reason being the backend is in api.flexile.com and the frontend is flexile.com. So
Gotcha.
yeah, most likely that. Yeah, and okay.
So this is a redirect to the Next.js app where there's going to be a call to the backend to get the JWT token.
Looks like it. So we have the generate impersonation URL. Yeah, which is domain should be flexile.com.
Okay.
So this should be. Yeah, this should be a Next.js path. Okay, so the only issue that I'm seeing is we are passing the JWT token in the URL, which in a GET request, which is not a great pattern for an authentication request. But I need to see why exactly we need this. Let's see. Okay, this is a pundit authorization, whether the user can impersonate or not. Okay, so only team members can impersonate. Yeah, this is nice. It's a good security measure. Helper user info service. Impersonate actions. Okay. Okay, we are adding the response to helper as a tool for helper. This is good. Generate.
Yeah, well, so we just need to make sure that for helper, like this is the right dictionary
Yeah,
actions.
sure.
But yeah. I don't know if, I guess is it useful to have, I guess it is to, because you have this early guard, but it's just like a method that isn't doing that much.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if it's worth just putting this directly in here in
Yeah.
actions, but
And also, is this the only action we have in helper for Flexile?
yeah, for now, I guess, yeah. I mean, if this is accurate, then
Okay.
it would be the first action that we're adding.
Okay. So before merging the pull request, we will definitely test each and every change. But in this session, we're just reviewing the code.
Yeah.
Generate actor token, user ID, email, expiry 30 minutes from now. Okay. Encode, payload. Okay, so this is the payload for generate actor token. Okay. So in this method, we are generating the token for the user that we want to impersonate. That's okay. Backend, company show. Okay, so this is probably the button that we are showing. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we have to add the whole page just to show this button. That's it.
Yeah, that's like, it's not worth adding this whole page for.
Yeah, but I think there is another way because that.
Oh, this is for companies. We don't need the company thing at all.
Yeah, we can fully remove this.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. So for users, this page is by default rendered from the gem. So we don't have the template in our code base, but to add this button, it makes sense to add the whole
Interesting.
template back. Yeah.
There's no way to add this button
Probably no.
natively, like through the gem. Like there's not like it seems like a thing the gem would support. Like,
Yeah.
because all it is a button that links to something.
That is true. Yeah, we need to check whether the gem supports such a use case or not. Would be good to check that. We can do that.
It's called administrate the gem
Yeah, administrator, I think.
by Thoughtbot. Really cool.
Okay, so admin constraint. Okay, we are removing this constraint. Namespace admin. Okay, so why did we remove this admin constraint from here? Maybe we are authenticating somewhere else in the application controller. Yeah, probably due to this function, I believe. But yeah, so it would be good to explain why we are removing this admin constraint in this section. Okay, get impersonate. Choose a get web request for consistency with administrate gem to avoid exposing JWT URLs and to keep the flow simple. Okay, impersonate redirect to, okay. Yeah, this is good. So if so based on this approach, we should be redirecting. We should not be redirecting with the JWT token in the URL over here, I guess. What was that? Generate token. We saw it above. Yeah, here. We probably shouldn't include the JWT token in this URL here. Let's see. Okay, rest are specs, mostly specs. Okay. This is controller, current context, get impersonate. Okay, expect access denied.
Do you know why he's setting all these things to nil above in this? Like, shouldn't this automatically be handled by the Rails code, like current.user, you know?
It should be, but
No. I guess not.
I guess no. Yeah, I'm not
Or at
really
least the
sure.
other ones. Like if current.user is set, shouldn't the company and company admin be implied by the user?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
It seems like there's a lot of setup, quote unquote.
yeah. Or else is there a chance that there can be user in Flexile without any company associated? There's no such case, right?
I forget exactly how the code works, but in theory, I mean, UX-wise, there is, right? When you first create an account,
Yeah.
you kind of don't have a company.
Company account.
Like, it doesn't have a name or anything, so it's
Sure.
effectively nil.
We automatically create a company at that point, right? Unless we change that.
Okay, so there's a company object, but to the users, from the user's perspective, like
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
um,
From a UX perspective, yeah.
yeah, generally, I think the code should mirror the UX. Just
Sorry?
the code should mirror the UX.
Yeah.
In terms of like, it's more likely there'll be bugs if they don't mirror each other. So that could be something like if the
True. So yeah,
something expects nil, but it's a dictionary with a company with a blank name.
true.
Can lead to bugs and stuff.
Yeah. So it would be nice to comment why we are setting company to nil and a company administrator nil here.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's not intuitive, there should be a comment,
Yeah.
ideally.
Yeah, so allows impersonating regular users. I'm not very happy with redirecting with actor token in the URL, but is there any other way to do it?
Well, ideally, you would test the actual token itself, not just that there's a actor token in the URL, right? Shouldn't you want the
Yeah, at least we should stub the token and
or stub it and say that it's part of it.
part of the URL. Yeah. So yeah, this test can be written in a much better way. Denies impersonating other team members. Okay. Denies impersonating self. Okay. Denies impersonating non-existent users. Okay. Then there is user spec. We are creating the JWT token and the URL over here. Yeah. Decoded user. Token equal to, okay, this is for gay. Yeah, even then, I think this test can be improved. We should be, so this test generates a URL and we are not testing the URL entirely. We're just saying URL include /impersonate.
Yeah, just test the whole URL. Might as well.
True, yeah. Ideally, we should.
It could also be in one line if you do that. Right now, you're doing like all these like splits and like.
Yeah.
This is a good thing for, I feel like AI like could one shot this, just be like, could you write a regex that tests the entire URL based on this Rails method?
Sure.
Generate impersonation URL.
Yeah.
Or something.
Okay, this is a spec for the helper.
Like this is what he does here.
Yeah, this is good.
I would say though that like the domain is kind of strange. You probably don't want localhost.
Yeah.
It should probably be like.
It's a constant.
Yeah.
Over here, that's true.
But besides that's kind of what I'm saying, right? Like in one line, you could test the entire URL.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll skip the E2E test because it's a bit big. Let's go to the code.
Yeah, I will say on the E2E test, it feels weird to me. If you look at how we generally write E2E tests in Flexile, it doesn't mimic. Like for example, there's no enter new lines here. So it kind of violates a pattern. Like if you open up like another spec,
it would be nice to
you'll
do like
see that it's a little bit more verbose, where there's a little bit more structure. So, for example, like you may not. Also, I don't know why there are awaits on all of these. Like, I guess he's just testing UI stuff.
Okay.
He's not testing anything related to. I guess there's no database changes. He's just testing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique set of tests.
Yeah, so we can definitely refactor the C2E test. For example, these two lines can be a different section by its own. Then login. So it would be nice to.
Yeah, there's also there's a way to log in and just specify the URL. I believe. I think that was shipped, so you can compress these two into one.
Sure.
So yeah, there's some updates to. Yeah, so if you see here, await login, you can just specify the URL as the third param.
Yeah, okay.
So you don't need a separate line.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
And it'll also make the tests faster to run.
Makes sense.
I generally don't like these wait for URLs either. Like you should only need one await. Like once you like this checking for this button to be visible should be enough.
True. Yeah.
You shouldn't need
Yeah,
these.
you basically never want to use wait for URL. That's like pretty much always wrong. Because it's like you want to verify that like, some whatever you want to be visible is visible, and like, just because the URL is visible, like, what if it's a full page error that tells you nothing? So
Yeah, like if
you definitely want to verify that it's like, showing what you want to be showing, and the specific URL doesn't matter.
Yep. I think there sometimes it's nice to test like on logout you're on / but yeah, generally it's better to test with like what's the text on the page, right? Like yeah. So there's 20 wait for URLs in 6 files in the code base currently. So probably most of these could be removed or updated to be a little bit more testing for stuff.
I agree. Yeah.
True.
Yep. Cool. So yeah, these tests can be a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
And now we're in TypeScript land.
Yeah. Okay, so we have an impersonate route, impersonate handler, use session. Okay, we are getting the actor token here. Use effect impersonate token session.
I don't like this param == null.
Yeah, there should be a better way to write it.
Like, why are we passing a string of null? But
yeah, that looks very weird.
Where are we? Like, where is this being passed? No, we shouldn't be passing this, basically, right?
It should probably just not be present if it's like whatever case is like null.
Yeah, it should just be.
Not be present.
It's very strange. Yeah, this line of code should be const actor token = search params get actor token. That should be it. And then either it's a type or like there's some way of cleaning it up. But I don't think this seems like it's like, I don't know, over secure. Like anyway, I think the point is communicated.
Sure. Okay, session user actor token. Oh.
Can this be a route instead of a page?
Just
like this seems like it's mostly just like
but
a redirect, right?
True. So I think this page, because we are showing setting up session intermediate.
But I feel like we don't need to.
Okay, can be just an XJS route.
Yeah, it should just be an XJS route that just redirects, I think, would be better.
Yeah, similar to what we did in what was it? We had something like this recently, like something company onboarding, accepting invites, something like that. It was a similar thing where it was a page and it could have just been like a route. Something.
Yeah.
Like basically, if you have something like this, like it's better to just like, do it in a route handler, even if it's like on the next side, rather than just like, rendering a page that's literally just a loading indicator that then redirects you.
Yeah, exactly. It's also generally easier, right? Like these lines 19 and 20, like if not param or impersonating return, like generally these kind of early returns like all can be done better in like either Rails are like a more synchronous. It's like a synchronous way of writing code, right?
Yeah.
More like how a server thinks.
That is true.
But it's a client side rendered. Like it's like and then it's doing these redirects to dashboard or to login. Like when is this happening? Status == unauthenticated. When would that happen?
So this is like we have two conditions here. First condition is whether if you are impersonating or if there is no actor token param, we are redirecting to dashboard. And that redirect is happening from the front end, which is not nice. It can be done from the back end, I believe.
Yeah. And it should be, I feel like it's an error. Like it should be like 404
or
500
at the very least a comment twice on the front end.
Yeah, this should never happen, basically. Mm-hmm. So something seems
like it's possible that there's a reason that it makes sense for it to be on the front end. Like for instance, I don't know, like some next thing isn't accessible on the back end, but like if that's the case, then that needs to be in a comment.
Yeah, and also he's combining the failure case and the success case in the same place. because it's if not param, which is a failure case, redirect to dashboard, or impersonating, which is the success case, replace the return to dashboard.
Yeah.
So both the success case and the failure case are the same. This is a very confusing way of writing code because you would never think that an if contains both the success and the failure case.
Yeah.
It's kind of strange.
True, yeah.
And then there's a second failure case, which is this status equals unauthenticated,
Yeah.
which is a failure case, which is why but it's like a failure case that the admin isn't logged in even, so now they have to, for some reason. Mostly, I think what happens is someone is like testing this stuff locally, and locally they're running into all these issues, and they're kind of bandaging the issues, but they're not like they don't know if these are actually real issues in development that won't be in production, or like I think often when I see codes like lines of code like this where there's like ifs and early returns and stuff without comments, it's just like someone's just trying to get the thing to work locally, and this is just kind of like what it took to get it to work. So definitely the code can be like often when it's worth doing, like once you have everything working, start removing the hacks and seeing if it still works, because you may not need all that duct tape that you put in to get there. So and things like types and stuff help a lot also with knowing that you're not going to accidentally break something once it works.
Yeah. If there is a way we can move this to backend, then we can refactor all these things in a much better way again, I think.
Yeah, and then
We are updating session here with the actor token. And we are entering the setting up session intermediate screen. Okay.
I don't know why this dividends page is being changed in this pull request.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a relevant
Change.
change.
Yeah. Yeah, so it would be nice to explain why the user.email is removed here.
Yeah.
And this is a dashboard layout.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is the nav, basically.
Okay. Okay, we're getting the session.
I don't know. So here it says text, just on the Tailwind classes, text destructive, dark text destructive, hover text destructive, dark hover text destructive. I think this could all be rewritten as just a single important text destructive.
Okay,
I think.
I see.
I don't know if you would have to re-specify dark mode as text destructive because it's the same, technically, right?
Yeah.
Text destructive, so I think this could be cleaned up.
Okay.
And generally, if you have code like this and you don't know if it can be cleaned up, just search it in the code base. And if it doesn't exist in the code base, maybe you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And the question is also, why is what we're overriding so specific? Could we maybe just like not set the classes that we need to override in such an incredibly specific way?
Yeah, so if I Google it and I can't find it on the internet, this kind of way of, something is. So yeah, this can probably be cleaned up too.
Yeah. And also, it seems like this is how we are stopping the impersonation. So we are setting actor token equal to null. So that's why we are comparing.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, that's not a good pattern. We
should create a separate route.
Yeah, which is that would be more nice.
Called unbecome.
Yeah, this looks a bit hacky. Using the same route with null as a parameter to stop impersonating. Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, if you wanted to do this, just don't specify actor token at all, right? That would be what null.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
So
you're specifying a string of null, which is not null.
yeah.
If you want null, just don't specify actor token at all. Then it would still be wrong because you want the route to be unbecome or unimpersonate or stop dash impersonating. But yeah, that's also, it's kind of strange, this on-click override.
Oh yeah.
Why not just do a ref?
Yeah, just ARF should have worked here. So how are the other buttons set?
Because he is adding like like if you look at,
Oh
I guess in the mobile bottom nav, there's like a whole
here.
This one.
Okay.
He's adding this new on-click thing.
Oh yeah.
Seems a lot.
True. Yeah.
Like, why do we need all of that? I guess because the nav is something.
I think he's following the pattern that we already have. So if you scroll up,
I mean, the pattern doesn't contain this on-click.
we do. We have some on-click over here. There's an on-click.
We do, but we don't have like this, like the line change on 111
Okay.
on mobile bottom nav. Sorry, go down.
Yeah.
111. Why? Like that's
Oh.
why do we need that?
Yeah.
Why? What's unique about this nav? Again, we may, but just comment saying why we need that.
That is true.
Seems unique.
Yeah. So the other on-clicks worked without this change, so probably would be good to know why exactly we need this.
Cool. We're almost done with this PR.
Yeah. Frontend lib auth.js. So yeah. So this is the auth.js main configuration file.
So we're changing JWT to primary token.
Okay.
I don't know why, so it would be good to comment on why we're doing that.
Okay, so there is primary token and actor token. It's okay, but
Primary is kind of like the admin.
no, primary is the user token and actor token. Yeah, so yeah, it is admin token. Yeah.
The admin token. Can we call it admin token, or do we have to call it?
No,
Like, what is it called in the JWT parlance? Like, this is a defined.
Yeah, previously it was just a JWT, so I think this user token would work.
Yeah.
User
Or like
token.
even like impersonation token.
No, so the primary token is the token of the user who logs into Flexile, and actor token is the token which I believe contains the impersonated user's token.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it's always going to be slightly confusing.
Yeah. So this can be like user token and.
So just looking at Google Cloud, they call them, at least I think, access versus identity. So your identity is your, like who you're logging in as, but your access is your admin account, like who you actually have like who you are.
Got it.
But I think it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Small comment.
Small comment. Company switcher.
Same thing. He's doing this user email thing.
It would be good to know why we are removing the user.email. gRPC client. We are renaming a few things over here.
So
User ID instead of user ID. Oh, okay. So instead of user ID, we're expecting JWT. In the query key, how does it affect the query? Okay. Oh, I think we're using a different. We're using the whole JWT as a cache key. Is that correct, Maya?
Sorry, what?
The query key is the cache key, right?
Yeah, it's basically like when that changes, it requires. Yes, correct. It's the cache key, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. In that case, I think the JWT will contain the impersonate user's JWT after impersonation. So the query
Wait, but the user ID wouldn't?
I think the user ID would remain as the primary user who logged into Flexile. I'm not really sure. I think that's why we are
It's
fetching.
kind of confusing though, isn't it? Like the JWT changes and the so basically, if I'm understanding this correctly, the Rails backend doesn't even know anyone's being impersonated. It's just like the front end just like sends requests with with a JWT off the impersonated user and like pretends to be them basically.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like calling this session user JWT is pretty confusing because like that I would still expect that to be like the JWT of like the current user, you know. So I feel like just looking at this file, I feel like it's really not obvious that there's potentially some impersonation going on here.
True.
Or if there is, I would expect user to be like, it's kind of strange that like, you know, we have a session user and like, you know, some parts of it are the impersonated user and some parts are the like, you know, own user. I feel like that's like, you know, very easy to get confused by that.
True, yeah, that is true. Yeah, so it would be nice to refactor or at least add comments, inline comments explaining why we are setting JWT here and this JWT can be either the logged in user's JWT or the impersonate user's JWT. Would be nice to add a comment about that.
And like this is one of the few cases where if there isn't a better way, I think it's actually like a case where you would want to add like a code comment, because I feel like to someone looking at this code, there's no way anyone would ever think, okay, yeah, this could be the JWT if a user were impersonating. But if you're using like then there's like no, if you're looking at this file with no prior context, you would have no idea why this change is being made here.
True, exactly.
Yep.
True.
Yeah, like code comments aren't bad. You can see even we have them in this file, right?
Yeah.
Things like TRPC client, like these kind of big files that are doing a lot of magic and like gluing some library together, generally comments can help a lot because you're kind of explaining code you don't control. Because like if you control the code, you could rewrite the code so you don't need the comment, you know? Like you could refactor whatever, but generally a lot of comments are like, oh, you're working with some library that has some way of doing things.
Exactly. Yeah.
So naming convention, etc. So a lot of that kind of is good fodder for comments.
So actually,
Yeah, so basically like the guideline is don't ever write comments is if you're about to write a comment, ask yourself, could I write this code in a way that doesn't require the comment? If you can't, then leave the comment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the goal is to open a PR that's so obvious. Like it's just like obviously this is the code. You don't need any comments, but
yeah,
getting there can take some cycles.
Yeah, we are already 42 minutes.
Okay.
Past.
Yeah.
So
I just want to talk. There's one more file, and then we can
Okay.
go to like the oldest, smallest PRs.
Sure.
There's this next auth file.
yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want, I guess, feedback from maybe Maya and Shang, just generally these changes, thoughts on these changes.
Yeah, we're making these fields optional, as they are not strictly required. It's unclear why they were included here since we don't use them anywhere. Okay. Maya, do you have any insights on this?
Mostly just gave it like during the thing already, like the thing that's on the front end that could be on the back end, and like just like the fact that it's not really obvious, like what belongs to the impersonated user and like what doesn't, like either we make the choice to say that okay, like everything pretends that like we are the impersonated user, and there's like one very specific way that allows us to like gain access, or if we even need that, outside of like unbecoming or like stop impersonating, if we never need to access like the current user outside of that we just like don't have that. But then like things like user ID should also not give access to that. Or we just like, there needs to be basically a clear split between like what is the impersonated user and what isn't.
Sure. Totally agree. Great. I think we can wrap reviewing this PR and move
Awesome.
on to another PR.
Sounds good.
Great. I'll stop my sharing.
Who wants to do the next one? Maya, what do you think about doing the oldest one, this form fields fix?
Hold on, give me 1 second, then I will.
Awesome. And then, yeah, hopefully we can either merge it or close it. 2 weeks to make this change is a lot. But it's 100 lines of deleted code, so that's tempting. I love PRs with deleted code.
Okay, the oldest one is.
Oh yeah.
It's the one I'm already assigned to anyway. That's a good one. Okay, I shall.
Sorry, Mike, could you share your screen, please?
Yeah, I'm just setting that up right now.
Sure.
Just
Thank you.
closing all the illegal content. Just making sure there's no compromising material on my screen.
Sure, yeah.
Just don't have any live streaming of sports, otherwise you'll go to jail.
Don't do what, say?
Live stream sports on the
Yeah.
big faux pas, I've heard.
Okay, let's see whether this works. I am on, if we find it, here. Here, Google Meet, share screen. Let's do this one, that should work. Okay, can you see this?
We can.
Awesome. Okay, so this is a PR that's gone through quite a bit of back and forth already, and I mean, we are thankfully at a point now where there's like our tests are passing relatively consistently now. Like, there's still some flaky tests, and so we've just been working on fixing that, making sure that, like, when it just makes it so much easier to merge things with confidence when you just see, okay, it's a passing build, it's a green check mark, you see like all the tests are passing, you could just click merge, and you just, same with linting kind of, it's like, there's just so many things you don't need to worry about if you can see that certain automated tests pass, basically. And so we can see this one wants to fix, so we have like a role input, which is like, an autocomplete, like when you invite a new contractor or edit a contractor, you can like set their role, and there's an autocomplete for other roles that already exist. And so if we look like at the reproduction video, then we can see that, oh, just reloaded. We can see that they enter a role, and I'm assuming they're trying to press enter and nothing happens. And so like the autocomplete doesn't actually work. And so then in there, after they like enter something else, and it seems to work correctly. And so there's been quite a bit of back and forth, just because like, there's things that were not ideal, just like, new helpers being added, just like, back and forth, and like, what can we do to make this the most accessible and the most easy to read? And always a good sign, we're now removing more code than we're adding. That's always, we like to see that.
Yep. And it looks,
So,
go
ahead.
It looks like a lot, but there's really, I guess, like, 11 files, 200 lines of code, but it looks like the bulk of the changes are this one file, the form fields, and the combo box at the bottom.
I think so. Yeah, because like one thing we did as part of that, which is good, is previously we had like a bunch of custom code in like the form fields, and like I made the suggestion, like, could we just use our pre-made combo box component, modified a little bit so we can use that, and it looks like it was possible. So we switched from like, the custom command with a popover input, just a combo box, which is like what that is internally anyway. So that's good that we were able to make that change. And so we're basically changing the select combo box option. We're extending it a little bit to like, instead of just clicking on the option, also test that like, search works and pressing enter works. And I think there should be like, one or two instances where we like check the clicking explicitly, and we can see, I think this all looks good. Like we select the combo box, we click on the combo box. It's a little bit awkward because like, combo boxes are a bit complicated, and like it's not as easy as just like selecting an option from a select element. So we need to do like a little bit more custom code here, but I think this is fine. This here, I probably wouldn't do like that. I wouldn't select by Command K input because this is like an implementation detail. So this is not very accessible. I would maybe just look for input. I think I selected using input. I suggested using input type search, and well, I think I'm only sharing a tab right now. Let's see whether I can share a window. Here. That should be better. You should be able to see, yeah, now you can see the entire window. So I think I previously suggested using, input type search, and he said it's not possible because Command K hard codes the value to input type text. Oh yeah, it's straight up just ignores the property you pass in here. So this is just the library being stupid. Can't do much about that. I agree. So what I would do now is I would see whether if we do like MDN input type search, we can see whether this has like, some ARIA role or something we can set, and search box. So we can just set that instead. That should work, I think. Unless, nope, it overrides that too. Well, that's unfortunate. It's also interesting because this gets set to combo box, which is probably a bit problematic because now we have a combo box nested in the combo box. So it's the kind of thing where like you're having to like make trade-offs. Like, how much do you try to bend the library into shape, basically? Because it looks like the library is doing like a bunch of weird stuff here.
Yeah, and normally when I have issues like this, I go to ShadCN and see how they've implemented this.
We can see ShadCN.
They have a combo box.
Mm-hmm. And I guess here it's let me do.
And this
hold
might,
on.
I think, the difference is that we allow like creating a custom role within. I think that's why we don't use the custom.
ShadCN is the same issue. It's also a combo box nested in a combo box, it seems.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so this is just some like I would call this an accessibility issue, but it's like an issue within ShadCN. So it's a question of like, how much do we care about fixing it? For the purpose for the purposes of this PR, probably not at all. So what I would do is I would like leave a comment here and say that this is like, something to be addressed in the future. So I would just say like, we shouldn't select by a hard-coded attribute here that's brittle and not accessible. It looks like Command K sets this to roll combo box internally. Not ideal that we ended with a combo box nested inside another. But this issue exists in ShadCN 2, so we can address it elsewhere. Let's use the role selector here for now. And so I think that's like the only issue I saw with like this selector. Otherwise, this is like, very accessible, but like, having a combo box nested inside another combo box is like, not really ideal. And so this is then just a bunch of changes because previously I believe this was a select, or previously it was. Oh yeah, previously this was an input that was always visible, and now we changed it to a combo box, right? And so that's why there needs to be like a little bit of a few changes here just to like, support the change to combo box. And this is just like getting rid of like some changes that are covered elsewhere already. This all looks good. This is where we're covering the click, just so we have like one place where we're like actually checking it by click.
There's this conversation, more of a
Yeah.
product question.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, when do we show the default rules?
Well, currently it seems like we only show them at all when, like he says, it's, and it does seem to be that way. They're only shown at all when a new contractor is onboarding himself, which happens when, I think it's when accepting an invite. That the contractor has to set their own role first of all, like using the invite link. I believe.
Gotcha. But it should be pulling from the roles that exist in the company already, right?
I think the issue is that, like, the new contractor isn't like allowed to have access to those because they're not an admin. So I guess the question is, do we allow
Interesting.
a lowly contractor to see a list of all roles that exist within the company?
Oh, I see. So the reason is people are onboarding themselves, then they have to like pick a role in order to onboard, but they don't have access. Like we're currently not exposing. My feeling would be to we should get rid of these default roles, and either it should be blank where they're entering like a plain text field, or they're picking from the company's roles. Probably the picking from the company's roles is probably the right approach. It's not perfect. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I do.
You would say just
Yeah.
have like an endpoint that like returns all company roles and just like and let everyone access that basically.
Yeah, I think it should be accessible to anyone in the company. Should have access to the roles in the. I don't want to slow down merging this. So this, because this is kind of an ongoing issue. But we could make this like another. If he wants to tackle this as another pull request, that would be something worth doing.
Flexile, and he mentioned that it would make the most sense to make a new, more focused endpoint that only returns the list of company roles, which everyone would then have access to. That way we could get rid of default roles entirely. If a company has none yet, the field can just be empty.
Yeah, and I think
do this separately in the new PR.
Yeah, and his comment's valid. I think basically the reason is his first comment, right? Not every company is a software company. Like these roles are very specific to Gumroad, basically. So I think removing it will be good. Will be a good change. Product.
Yeah, I think that this conversation is longer than that actually. Yeah, here. Because because we changed it to like always display the default roles, like even if the company already has roles, and so like the existing behavior makes sense because like not every company is a software company, and like we wouldn't, and it probably just doesn't make sense to have this hard coded list at all. It's kind of like a crush. So
exactly, yeah.
I agree that it makes sense to just like display because it's like not very like privileged information, like which roles exist in a company. So displaying that to everyone makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Awesome. Then we have two very small pull requests that we can do. Hopefully they're small. One is this the penultimate one, the admin invoice filter approved status. I'll send it. I'll put these in Slack. Shoot.
I'm just actually looking through this one.
But I think so. I think anything else here seems.
This all looks good. We're changing to a combo box. I think I have some comment down here too about. Actually, no, that's fine. Yeah, I think the rest looks good.
Awesome.
Great.
So I'll just send that back his way. I think the first comment was actionable. Yeah, okay. So I'll just say 2 more small comments. Otherwise, looks good to me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Do I have Slack open somewhere?
Yep.
I should. Here. You said you posted it on Slack?
Oh yeah,
here. Right.
yeah.
Do you want me to review that too, or do you? Oh yeah, it's also assigned to me, so I can. It's tiny, so that should.
Yeah, there's 2 more that are assigned to you that would be good, and then we can do Sharang on the validation for insufficient unvested equity. But these should be relatively small. At least the diffs are small.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's just to like remove, right? That's just to remove approved from here. Yeah, I think it is worth adding a comment here because it trips people up so frequently that we map both of these to the same thing. And I think we already just.
Yeah, it seems like we do that. We do that for the other one as well. For the payment processing, we map.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Processing and payment.
Yeah, having approved not in here will probably like address a lot of the confusion because like there was a lot of confusion, like why is I guess it was just wrong that approved was in here because we don't have approved, and I guess that's why people were confused. Okay, I do think that fixes it.
Yeah, sweet. We can merge. We can merge this. Merge, our first merge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Live merge.
that's nice.
Let's do it. Let's do it
I'm
live.
just double checking right now that it's correct. I do think it's correct that the names are in here. Yeah, looks great. Okay, merge.
Woohoo!
Yeah, the only thing I could see that I would want to manually test, but he seems probably already has, is to make sure these are unique. But I guess that's the new set probably
Yeah.
does that.
Yeah, that's the new set. Yeah, that's what makes them unique. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Woo! All right, one more tiny PR. Status column. Not sorting
Not
properly.
sorting properly.
Okay.
All right. Not a single line of deleted code here.
Mm-hmm. It's always interesting. But I think this one was actually a pretty good approach because it just adds a sorting function, which we didn't have previously. Yeah. So basically, currently, what we're doing here is we are simply mapping to alumni or like just through these strings, but it didn't consider this one sorting, so we were literally only sorting by these three. But it was kind of confusing because then in the cell we're displaying more than that information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, so we're only like using this for filtering, and then yeah. And so the main thing to look at is like the test, which I think was also, let's see, we're creating a bunch of contracts with different values. Then okay, this here could also be, we can just use the third parameter of login here,
Sure.
like you mentioned earlier. Ensuring the data is loaded in the table before we begin clicking. So this is the kind of comment where, like, I'm thinking, does that mean it breaks if we click the header while the table data is still being fetched? Because I feel like this comment right here is indicative of like a UX issue. I feel like weird things like that coming up in tests is always like, should always make you think like, does that mean there's like an issue with our UX? Because we shouldn't need to wait for the table being fully loaded, but the header already being clickable. But if we click it, either nothing happens or something breaks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess he's or she's waiting for the table to be loaded. So,
but it shouldn't be necessary because we're then down here, like, clicking the status header will only work when it's visible and interactive anyway. So it will wait for that anyway. So either this is unnecessary or it's indicative of a UX issue. What happens if we perform the action while the data is still being fetched? This is also a good example of like, why it's like important to give context in your comment. So it would have been really helpful to know, like, why are we doing this? Okay, it prevents performing the actions while the table data is still being fetched, but why do we need to? So this is like really important information.
yeah. It also doesn't, okay, so it's sorted by status. I see. I do think that sometimes when I read these kinds of things, I think like, could we name the things better so that it's easier to read what the test is testing for? Because if you're naming everything like alumni old, alumni new, active new, like if you named something like, alumni who joined on Jan 1, 2023 or something, like it'll be easier to read, like make sure you're actually testing stuff validly. It's kind of tough to.
I mean, it's kind of, you shouldn't need these comments, right? That's kind of it. Like, these comments should not be necessary.
Yeah, ideally, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, ideally, the fact that they ended on Jan 1 should be part of the test, or it should be in the name, but something that makes it clear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably I would do that. Row 0 should contain alumni old and the fact that Jan 1, the contract ended on Jan 1, 2023. That shouldn't be a comment. It should be part of the test itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny that like the comment is the test. Well, the test should be the test. But this is pretty.
Okay, otherwise, this looks good though. So.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I would say it's like 90% there. And will get merged probably soon on the next iteration.
After the next
Oh, sorry, I just did a update branch. That's why you got the refresh thing showed up.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, are they watching this and they just like make the changes?
That has happened before, I think. Last week it was like, hey, could you re-review it? I'm like, no. It's been like 4 minutes. We got other people. We got other people to help out.
All right.
Nice. Awesome, Sharon, it's your moment to shine. Are you still there? Or do you fall asleep?
Yeah, so this PR is, so first of all, it refers to an issue which is closed, so I'm not sure what is going on here. The opening comment says it refers to 1308.
Remove confirmation. Yeah. Well, I don't know why it's. Well, could you share your screen? Is that cool?
Yeah, sure. 1 second.
And then we can.
Oh, okay. It's asking me to restart my browser. Okay, I'll just share one tab. Hold on.
Sure.
Yeah, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
So, I see what he's trying to do, but it refers to an issue that has to do with one-off payments, which is closed.
Yeah, it seems like he's referencing an issue that, like, it's not exactly. I mean, it's like semi-related.
Yeah.
But he's adding sort of like it's a kind of separate problem.
Yeah. And also, I want to know if like this has already happened before. And the reason I ask is because I see there's one more pull request which is assigned to Maya, which is like sort of editing these same files, some performance issue or something. And all of this should ideally happen together in one place because this piece of the code is quite tricky. Just like equity calculations basically. And because I'm just sharing one tab, let me just put that into here.
And generally, I think one kind of issue with this PR is you should kind of explain in your own words like what change you're making and why you're making the change instead of just referencing an issue. So I would close it basically just probably based on the fact that he didn't really kind of explain.
Yeah, I mean, if you see here, there's like no why, what, like nothing. AI disclosure and probably tests passing, which I don't think we need now because tests run on pull requests, right?
Exactly, yeah, that shouldn't be necessary anymore on Flexile.
Yeah.
So yeah, it feels like just doesn't really follow our criteria. And then just this TRPC code is pretty intense.
Yeah. So this is the other pull request that I was talking about. Hold on. Yeah, this is the other pull request that's assigned to Maya.
Yeah, so we can kind of like look at them at the same time then. Might as well. Yeah.
So I kind of looked into this and so I missed the last conversation you three had about this. So I don't know which direction you decided to go. So now what this is doing is it's bringing the calculation to the front end, but I thought we were going to move it back. So
yeah, my thinking my thinking here is that like, for like something that should basically be like a very simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, like it should be happening in the front end, because otherwise, or at least it should be optimistic, because currently, and this was exposed because we added a loading skeleton, which then started getting triggered every change. So then that's really, really bad. But before, it was still a problem. It's just people didn't really notice that we're basically just rerunning this calculation every keystroke. There's a bunch of ways to edit this, right? We could add a timeout. We could make it so that only one, we're not that, like, but basically, imagine you're like editing a line item and you're making it go from like 1 to 10. It's like re-triggering every, like just re-triggering all the time. And it's a simple calculation that I feel like putting it in the back end seems like, but also I don't think the right answer is like what he's doing is putting it in TRPC. It should, like, the calculation.
Anything to TRPC at this point.
Right.
The calculation should be happening in the page.tsx file, right? Basically, the render. I don't care. Like, rendering of them should be happening in the front end, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, because there was this big issue that I don't know if it's still open or we closed it, about the equity overall. Where is that? Yeah, this one. So this all is sort of like the same thing. And like if we merge different PRs, it's going to get messy.
Yeah.
It should just like be one thing where we like put all our concerns into one thing and then come out with a solution. Which is why I was surprised that
really related though, because this is just like, how do we display it? I think that is kind of like separate to that.
Yeah, at least we should definitely, I think, talk about the order of merging, like even if they're unrelated, just knowing, okay, these are the changes we're planning to make in this order, so they make sense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I could see like you merge something and then something has to get refactored because something doesn't exist, or something was moved from the back into the front end that another thing was betting on, something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize until you said it, but yeah, there's like no text here to tell us what is going on.
Yeah. So yeah. I'll just close that one. But yeah, I think on this perf one, I don't know why he's making any calls to this TRPC calculation. I think the whole point is to delete that TRPC call entirely. And this should all happen in the page.tsx file, or the edit. Whatever that. Like there should not be a TRPC call at all.
We calculated the content.
But he hasn't like done anything. Right? Wouldn't you want to? Don't you have to edit the form to check? Okay, now he's doing that. Yeah, like this math, right? Should just be in the front end. It's like pretty simple. Like for the back end, you just need to know your equity split, but then But to Sharang's point, there are a lot of changes we want to make to the invoice modal and everything that like a lot of this stuff is kind of could change. Like
also, I'm not sure if like have we documented this anywhere that we don't want to add new TRPC code. I'm not sure, because I know that that's what we spoke about, but I don't know if it's like in some doc anywhere.
It should be, but yeah, I definitely will It should be in the contributing. No, it's in there. It says we are moving from TRPC to Rails. Avoid writing new TRPC code.
It is in contributing
Yeah.
guidelines.
Yeah, it's in the
so
contributing
then
guidelines.
that is basically
Nice. It's one of 2 guidelines, so
yeah.
that one you
The other
should.
one.
That one. The other one is write end-to-end tests for new functionality.
Okay.
Nice.
Both good things. Both good things. I'm gonna add one more. Test on mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just based on that, we can like say it's not up to the contributing guidelines.
There was another one. Oh yeah, and like I also wanted to do the login thing we always say. Use the third parameter for login. Nice, awesome.
Great.
I'll just push this to main.
Great.
But yeah, generally no more TRPC, so we can call that one closed. Maybe we can review this PR. You want to, Sharon, do you want to review anything else?
There are some which can like just be merged, but I mean, I don't know, they're not what.
You know what's interesting from these live streams? I've noticed that people have different GitHub UIs. Like my GitHub doesn't.
Yeah.
Like my GitHub doesn't have. Have you updated it to like add these things or?
Yeah, there's some beta experiencer currently. Like,
Oh,
GitHub's really good at A/B testing on you.
I'm like your UI is quite different from mine.
True, yeah.
And Kyle's was also different.
I'm using some extension Jono posted at some point. I think I don't know what it's called.
Oh,
I'll find
interesting.
GitHub or something like that.
Oh, funny, yeah. 'Cause,
Some of that is-
yeah, there's like a few of these
I don't know
things.
how many things are coming from there and how many are like from GitHub.
Like small things like mine, I don't have any avatar user avatars. Yours shows.
Oh, interesting.
Or like-
I think I always have those.
Yours shows almost definitely your extension is doing the updated at because I don't think GitHub shows it just shows opened at,
True.
not updated at.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Also merged. You have a merged. That's definitely an extension.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And also, if you-
Developers, man, developers never happy with anything. They need custom.
Yeah, but this is quite like I'm used to this. It's quite helpful. Like, please update that.
Nice. Yeah.
It's probably good inspiration for GitHub to like what they should add.
True.
Yeah.
So if you open up your eyes, I noticed a back button behind, just below the user avatar photos. Can you open one of the pull requests? Any pull request?
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I open this.
Yeah. So there's
Yeah, what do you see? Oh yeah, this
yeah,
one.
yeah. I was wondering. Oh, mention in a new comment. Oh, nice.
The person in a new comment. Yeah, it just does this like
I
automatic.
see. Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you don't have it because it was like posted like a long time back.
That's funny.
Yeah, using the vanilla GitHub.
Yeah. Vanilla GitHub, I know.
Also, there is one that I need. I think we could merge, but I just.
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, if there are any easy ones, we can go through them. If there's
Yeah,
any.
because there's this demo mode that we had. We're not using it anymore, so he's like deleted all of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean-
Fine.
Yeah, it's been like forever since we had it, so it's okay to delete.
I just-
merge.
So there's no C data that is left over. This is all the code that remains.
Yeah, so we had this. I don't know if you remember, we had this demo mode with like a banner on the top when we had
Yeah,
demo.flexile.com. So it had like special code for that is not used anymore. So
Yeah, I think it's good to delete.
Yeah.
Good to delete this.
yeah.
190 deletions. Do we have a green build on this PR?
I think so. Let me see.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. Yeah. So this is one, and then there's one which I want to ask. if
Yeah,
you're
so I'll just
not-
merge. I'll merge this one.
Okay.
This is a $250 bounty. So someone gets money.
Nice.
What is that? Yeah, this one, Irshad, if you remember. So this is the comment that you had put in the code base. Delete these routes after one channel. I don't know if it was me. I think it was you. But
Yeah.
he has done this.
Okay.
I think we could delete it, but we need some testing probably. It's fine generally.
Yeah.
Like
It's
removing some
300
stuff
lines
from
of
the
code
app.
deleted, so it would definitely be nice
Yeah,
to all
it's a lot of code.
the route types and
I looked at
everything.
this before and it's like fine, I think. But I need to check like just a couple of things. Like in the front end, I see redirect to invoices new. I I think that's like going to the next version and not coming here, but I'll have to check that once. But otherwise, this looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to
So
delete this.
you,
Remove.
yeah.
Seems
This
really.
is like there's no point in like preserving these for a long time.
That is true. Yeah.
But I think this is something you said, Sahil, that we should keep because if I remember correctly, okay, it's not here. So like you went to a URL manually and did like like slash equity.
Yeah,
That didn't work because we had like
I often do that.
we didn't have but I think it's handled now because now we don't have the company slug in the URL, so it should
Yeah.
work like
Exactly. Yeah, it
Sure.
goes straight to next. The next
yeah.
just renders the page.
Right.
So now we don't need any.
Should be a
It
remote.
work now.
Basically, he's removing
Because
like it just he's making the routes.rb file like the internal only routes, which is kind of what we're trying to do. Make Rails the internal only effectively.
right. This is like quite old code. We can remove it. And I think he's removed some nav items like expenses and stuff, which we had deleted, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so
That's
these
gone.
would never show up anyway. Like the roles is gone, expenses is gone. And the way we show them is like whether the route contains it. So
Yeah.
that will never happen. They'll never visit those routes.
So this I will just check after the call and watch, but like it looks
Awesome.
good to me.
Sweet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of these that Ansh kind of went crazy. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
6 PRs, and we closed one. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, this one can be merged also. I'll look at it later. And what else? Yeah. Like I have some comments for this section. I don't know. Let's see.
Cool. Well, we can go maybe down.
Down. Oh,
Yeah.
there's one like old PR assigned to Jono. I don't know what that is. I think that's Devin, if I'm not mistaken. Replace mail to.
Yes, Devin. So yeah, maybe we can review this just to see how good AI code can be, or not good.
Replace 6 instances with mail to. Okay.
Yeah. Looks more like a basic text change.
So basically, what we're trying to do here is we are instead of linking to support@gumroad.com or support@flexile.com in different places, we now have the support center with the ability to create a ticket. And so we're asking people to use that. So now it's not perfect. So, but yeah, in theory, basically you click it, and then it takes you to that route, opens up the modal, you type in your ticket, and you're basically able to open a support ticket within Flexile itself, which is what we use Helper for now. I think reading the code product-wise is a little it's a little weird that we still say what the email is.
Right.
Like the copy should be updated to reflect the user experience. So this should say want faster payments, create a
or something.
Yeah, like create a support ticket, write to us, instead of support@flexile.com, as that the UX has changed now. Yeah, so the whole point is and this is like AI, a good example of AI can't infer. Like a human could say, why does Sahil want this? Well, it's because we don't want random people emailing us all the time when we have this feature. But the Devin just said, I'll just do what you want me to do. So it's not perfect in that way.
One more thing is I don't see any tests here. I'm not sure what Devin does by default.
Yeah, there should definitely be tests.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I don't get is it's creating this whole component for contacting support. But my belief, I can check real quick, is that already exists. So we should just be linking to what already exists. Like we're basically just directing them.
Okay.
I am a fan of like something like this, it's not that big of a change. I guess it's only opened 4 days ago, but I would generally think about simplifying this. So I think one way we could simplify this is to just, for now, link people to the support page. So we don't have to, just flexile.com/support,
Yeah.
I think is the URL. So that's a super simple way of like merging 80% of the value of this. It would be nice to kind of do it properly like this, but generally, Jono can take a look. But I will just comment and say we will do this by. I'll just I'll have Devin maybe do another attempt at this.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. Urshad, do you want to take over the screen again?
Yeah,
and
sure.
Keep going.
Sounds good.
Stop presenting. Okay.
Thank you, Sharon. Any specific pull requests you want?
Actually, could you open the Devon's on Slack DM thread? I want to actually Devon this change.
Oh, doing this change.
So I can show people how we maybe would use something like Devon just to have an example.
Sure. Let
You
me
just open the chat and I can do it.
This Devin, right?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. I'll just 1 second. That's okay. I think.
Is that good? Good enough?
Good
hopefully?
enough. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well,
Yeah, so I mean, just as an example of how we would use Devon for that, and then we can review this one. Well, I closed it, so let me go find it.
it's 1420.
1420. Perfect. So. So basically, what do we want to do? We want to replace all mentions of support@flexile.com with a link to /support. This was the first attempt. And then I have one comment. So I'll just keep this here, e.g. Cool. Awesome. So that should do it. Hopefully Devin does a better job
Yeah.
the second time around. Awesome. Cool. Now I'll hand it back over to you.
Sure.
So I thought we could do this one, this bug invoice. I know it's not,
This one. Okay.
but she got something merged in and generally has written good code, and this seems kind of important
Sure.
to merge, or we definitely want to do it if no one else does, so we can just take a look.
Sure. So looking at the PR description,
Yes.
a disclosure, GitHub Copilot was utilized to assist with code sessions. Okay.
Cool.
Root cause.
And just the bug. What is the bug? So let's just cover the.
Oh yeah. So the bug was that sometimes invoice gets paid more than once.
Yeah, multiple payments sent for the same invoice. For example, Harbox included an invoice ID in our production database to investigate. Basically, somehow there's, invoices are getting paid twice. The code generally should probably be good enough to not have this happen, so it's probably not going to be a very easy fix, but.
Sure. And also this issue is very rare, so it has happened only very few times.
So the root cause analysis is very important to understand if this person has solved the issue.
So the check for whether an invoice could be paid and the subsequent status update were not executed automatically. This created a time window where concurrent processes could both see the invoice as eligible for payment. Okay. That seems like a legit
Seems like a legitimate
Yeah.
fix problem.
and fix implemented. A database level locking strategy. Okay. So they probably have a unique index or something. We'll figure it out. We wrap the critical decision point in active record. Okay, with lock block to ensure that only one process at a time could evaluate and update the invoice status. Okay. The lock is held only during the minimal critical section. Okay. Check if the invoice is payable. If it is, immediately update status to processing. Then release the lock. The actual payment processing with external API calls twice happens outside the lock to minimize lock duration. This approach ensures data integrity while maintaining system performance by minimizing the lock duration. Okay. How to recreate /test. This is really good. So they have given us a snippet of code using which we can recreate the issue. Update this particular service class to duplicate. Okay. Payment call. Okay, this is duplicated. Before, notice how multiple payments are getting created and invoices payment being created successfully multiple times. Okay, so previously we can see invoice 18 marked as processing twice. After, there is only one instance of invoice 17 marked as processing. Okay, so the PR description is really good. They have given like before, after, code snippet to duplicate the issue, very good description, a disclosure, everything. So that's really nice. Add a test to concurrently call the pay invoice and verify the payment was created once. Okay. Now we can look at the code. So 3 files changed. Oh,
That's
with
good.
623 new additions.
However, most of it is the
Test.
VCR,
Oh, okay.
VCR cassette.
I see.
So if you click on it, well, how many of the 623, 630? So most.
Yeah,
But- So
okay.
it's really only 30, 40, 50 lines of code
Yeah.
change.
That's nice. Okay, so I'll just disable the white space change. We can see the actual change here. So the main change is the invoice with lock line here.
And then the update.
Yeah,
So this is also good because basically almost every single logical change has been commented. The with lock is the whole point of the PR, and then this one other change has like a nice comment as
True.
well. So this is a good amount of self-review.
true. This is more inside lock block, hence we don't interpret again. Okay. Oh. So how was it working previously and how is it running now? But I remember seeing with lock for invoice payment somewhere else. We need to double check whether this invoice lock is needed here, or we can remove the invoice lock from the other place. But yeah, we'll
Is this to do relevant too? There's like the on line 30, disallow if line 30, sorry.
30, okay.
Disallow if
I
old.
also want to bring up just because like we also wanted to like address this and like the other issue with like making invoice payments synchronous. I just wanted to bring that up. If you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like along the same lines. Like the issues we have with equity is like what's happening with the invoices here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all because it's like async basically.
true.
But the lock is a good idea. I think we do the same thing with Gumroad purchases.
Yeah.
Every time there's a purchase, we lock the database on those rows and stuff.
True.
Things like you don't want two people to buy the same product if there's only one remaining, things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
But I'm still wondering why we are encoding this particular job twice. So in the test snippet, we are doing it manually. But how can we
you can
enqueue-
double
yeah,
click on a payment, or it shouldn't be possible, but
Yeah. So are we disabling the button on click on the front end?
I'm pretty sure we are. But I think there was another PR. No, this is only for if it's missing tax information. So no, it should be disabled right away. I'm pretty sure. Could be
Okay.
wrong.
So
I do think I mean, this is the kind of thing you want to be very, like, even if we do disable it, this may still be good to merge.
Yeah,
Like, we
absolutely.
still may want.
Yeah, we need some kind of safeguard in the backend as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
That makes sense. Okay. So this is the pay invoice. Okay. All right, and this is a test. 2 times concurrent promise execute. Oh, they're trying to do it concurrently. Execution failed as expected. Okay. Condition scenario. Oh, this is nice. So they are trying to recreate the race condition within the test, which we don't normally see. This is good. The lock prevents the creation of multiple payments. Hence, there has to be only one payment created. Okay. Wait, and was reload. Okay. All right. This is good. My only concern is with this invoice lock because we have the invoice raw level locking for invoice payment in some other part of the code. Let me check. I'm just move here. Okay. So let me check. Okay, we enqueue invoice payments. We log the row from here once. Then we mark the invoice update. I just want to see how we are calling. What's the order of calling it? Sharon, do you know from the top of your mind what is the order of calling this sidekick job and service?
Pay invoice is called by a sidekick job, which is approve and pay invoices or something like that.
This one? No, this is pay invoice job.
It's called NQ invoice payment.
Okay.
Job called invoice payment.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh yeah, there's a lock at that level.
Exactly.
But then inside that lock, we are okay. But okay, it's a job, so that won't. Yeah. That won't affect it because we are including a sidekick job inside, so it's like a new execution.
That is true. That's true, yeah. Okay, and we are paying the invoice over here. That is true, yeah. Okay, so we are adding the lock inside in pay invoice job. That's what we are doing as pull request. Okay. Yeah, technically this should work.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Like the only concern I have is this is changing is it's doing the setting of the processing status like way before anything else happens.
Yeah.
But it may be okay, I guess.
So what is payment pending state? So we have first the invoice would be in payment pending, then it goes to processing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So okay. Do we have enough checks in place to make sure the processing state wouldn't go back to payment pending? The reason is what if we enqueue this job twice, and the first time it logged the row, it marked the invoice as payment pending. This particular job marked this as processing, but the second job could bring it back to payment pending, right?
Yeah, I hope the immediately payable will fail and then we won't proceed. There's a check on line 10.
Yeah, on line 10. Okay.
Line 10.
Makes sense.
Checks if it is payable and payable checks if status is approved, failed, or paid payment pending.
Okay. Makes sense, yeah. Cool. In that case, it makes sense to have the lock here, yes. Okay, we just need to check for any side effect of sitting. We are sitting invoice update processing down here. Okay. So we set the invoices state to processing here. And what happens if this service called again? in that case. Okay, but
And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
I am not getting what this is exactly. One process could evaluate. Okay.
because there is no check in the service.
Yeah. Right. Like if the block started with return if invoices processing, I could understand
Exactly.
what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose, okay, so there's this line 17,
Okay.
which checks invoice not immediately payable.
Payment. Okay.
So this would probably fail if invoice
Yeah,
isn't
it's
processed.
processing. Makes
I
sense.
think
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we were looking for this specific line.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Sounds good. Then yeah, this should work. This should solve the problem that we report. This is good. Okay. Is there any immediately payable instance below? No. Previously it was here. Okay. Cool. Let's look at the test. Only creates one payment. Okay. To equal 1. Yeah. So usually how I test PRs like this is I'll keep the test, but I'll revert the code changes and we'll run the spec. And if it fails, then we can be sure. Maybe we can do it for this PR.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oh, I have some. I'll just run this spec to be sure, to make sure it's passing in the first one. Oh, I need to go to backend. What? No such file. Yeah, since I'm already in the backend, I don't want the backend prefix. Cool. Now I'll revert the change in this file. I'll see. Okay. Now ideally we should see a test failure. Yeah, only creates one payment. Nice.
Boom.
Expected 2 to equal 1. Yeah. So this is a very good PR. They solved the problem correctly.
Boom.
We can merge it.
Woo! Nice.
Very nice.
I think that's $1,000.
Yeah,
I think.
sure. It's a complex problem to do.
Yeah, no, it's a good. That's a really good one.
Good one.
Awesome.
Great. So let's see.
Anj commented if you want to respond to his comment.
Oh, between duplicate payments on Y side is a better choice.
We talked about this, the invoice on the with lock on this. So the reason this is not enough.
Yeah, it's because the doc will be
Because
released by
There's
traces
no.
here.
Yeah, there's the whole. Most of it is not. It's not doing much.
Yeah,
This lock.
exactly. It's just setting payment pending and that's it.
Ideally, should we remove this update payment pending from this?
From this function, but before initiating the voice transfer, the invoice should be in payment pending. But currently, it goes immediately from payment pending to payment processing, I guess.
Yeah, like why not just put that in the async job itself, payment pending?
You mean here to set to payment processing?
Yeah, like I guess why not have the payment pending in the pay invoice job? It's weird to like update the status but not do anything and then put everything in the async. I don't know. Don't you think? No?
That is true, yeah.
I get the return unless you don't want to queue the job or whatnot. But
Yeah.
it's kind of strange that we have like this update on the status, but then everything related to that status update is happening
in a different
place. I don't know. I guess I see why it's done like this, so it's not that big a deal, but basically payment pending is more like a Flexile state. We're trying to differentiate between the Flexile payment pending, like the company wants to pay, and then payment pending on the Wise side, which is like we've started the process, but it's not complete, right?
True.
But anyway, I think we can. Anyway, I think I just wanted you to address like this with lock. It doesn't actually apply to the async part. So
True.
I'll just comment, and then you feel free to merge that.
Sure.
Boom, awesome.
Great. So we merged 2 pull requests?
I think 2, maybe even 3.
3, okay.
I think by the end of... Ooh, Devin. We got Devin. Devin opened the PR. So when Devin can't do it, simplify the scope so it can.
You want to see?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, it's still kind of annoying how it's kind of nice. It excluded the privacy page. So that's nice because that's what the original scope was about. So pretty simple. Basically, instead of a mail to link, it just changes to /support.
Okay.
Seems fine. Seems fine. I don't know why we have link classes here, but not here.
Yeah, true.
So I feel like we don't need it anymore. It feels like kind of doesn't add much. Personally, like link, it probably just is like underline or something, something like that. But yeah, it looks fine. I think the only thing that could be wrong is if /support doesn't exist because it's not a typed route. So in theory, like if this was a typo, nice thing about AI just generally doesn't make typos. It makes other logical problems. But note this.
Did we remove typos or?
Well, from the front end, generally, I don't think we do them most of the time. We just do this. We could type this, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's fine. /support. It looks like it exists based on this route. One nice thing about Next is you can kind of infer the type from this, or for the route from this. Lint test pass. So boom, let's merge it.
Great.
Awesome. Jono has one less to-do list item on his plate. Cool. Awesome. What other things should we look at? What anything else you wanna? We have 11 minutes. Anything look exciting?
Yeah, maybe we can review one more PR.
Which one? We have Ayusha's loading skeleton, keyboard shortcuts. Someone added this keyboard shortcuts one. Will probably not get merged, but we can review it.
Sure. It's 30 files changed with 291 additions. So
So the first thing I would say, so the context on this is, basically there's some modals. I noticed it when I was trying to reject an invoice that like Apple Enter doesn't work. So for example, if you notice on GitHub, you can hit Apple Enter, and it'll create this issue, which is kind of nice. It's kind of a nice UX, I think. So anyway, I felt like this should have worked, and it didn't work on Flexile, so that's kind of why I created the issue. The formatting isn't great. I would improve the formatting a little bit. I do think that the biggest thing I would say is I would probably do one first. So I would not, 30 files is a lot of files. I would recommend adding this to a single place, sort of getting that merged. That way, you're doing it the right way. All the stuff is in place, and then doing it on all the other ones should be much faster. That's probably what I would recommend here. I guess we can watch the video first. But I'm pretty confident it'll work. It's a little weird. He's using, at least from this image, it's not a modal. So the whole thing is about modals, but there's no modal here. So I don't know if if he's just showing that as he didn't update that. Templates.
Seems like he updated the form submit
Ideally,
actions
templates
to-
would have a loading skeleton, so that would have happened soon. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, so I think he updated the submit actions to work on command enter.
I mean, that should already be there.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if that's not there.
True.
And that should be on enter, not on command enter.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of changes,
Should we show the shortcut
mostly tests.
within the button like GitHub does?
Yeah, exactly. That's like the kind of thing that I think if you picked one,
Okay.
and also, yeah, it would be nice. On primary action, so I guess this is how, so another concerning thing, there's no comments here. It's kind of a lot of code with no comments. So I would ask this person to write comments, but just to give a quick parse, I generally am a little, I guess my guess is that ShadCN or whatever we're using here, dialogue, content, etc., just has this built in by default. So all we're doing is adding this and it just works. However, there are some nuances here, like this is only if confirmed. So there's, this is why I think doing them one by one is important. Like you kind of, did he test every single one of these to make sure that there's no bugs? Probably not, right? So generally that is, but overall, mostly, these kinds of things. But then how come this doesn't submit? Like in these other places, it's doing these mutations, but here there's no mutation.
Yeah.
All it's doing is closing the alert. So maybe that's fine, but yeah, these are comments that would be helpful for me to understand how much of the code you understand before you make all these changes. Like this new, why are we adding this new can approve? So yeah, those are my, and then there's this new file. Oh, he's adding this.
Oh.
Okay.
Not a part of.
So that's definitely something that not intuitive to me. And he's adding it to a bunch of different places, including alert dialog, bank account modal, dialog stack, dialog sheet, and there's this thing that he is basically most of the code. It looks kind of janky. Is Mac? Yeah, it's a little sus. Like, why are we looking for an iPod? Do they make iPods anymore? So yeah, those are my comments on this one. We can close it. But thanks for the attempt. Solid attempt. This one, let's do real quick. Add loading skeleton. I guess it's as simple as just adding a loading.tsx file.
Yeah.
The only thing I would just compare this, and again, this is a useful for a comment would be, what is this very similar to in the code base? Because if mostly what I'm checking is like the naming conventions and stuff like that, and like the copy, and so having an example would be really nice. So I would just could you open like is there another loading.tsx file in settings? Sure. Would probably be a good one too.
This is one we have.
That's okay. Yeah. So ideally we would have one in settings.
Settings?
Settings. Where's settings?
Probably. It's marketing. Settings. Yeah.
So we don't have any loading indicator. I thought we added some.
See. Seems like this is the only one.
But okay. If this is the only one, loading.tsx TSX file. I mean, then it seems fine. Oops, sorry.
You want to go back to?
I'm just trying to compare.
Sure.
These. I mean, it's kind of hard to compare because it's a n of 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's probably fine. I would say that, like, why not just do this? Like, why not do this on the, and Lara looked at it, so she's happy. Lara, anything that would have made your life easier reviewing this? No. Lara, are you there? Did she leave?
Oh, she's not.
Oh, she left.
Oh, she sent a message saying she has to leave.
Oh, okay, no worries. No worries.
A while back.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. No, it seems reasonable. Tests pass.
Yeah.
Screenshots.
Can we see this video? Yeah.
Video.
Okay.
Looks reasonable. Thanks for the mobile. I guess he's artificially slowing it down. Hopefully it's not this slow normally. Yeah, I think that's mergeable.
Great.
Great. Awesome. We should ideally do all the settings so that it's not the only one. It's kind of strange to only have one, so hopefully we can get that. It should be quite fast. I would also consider like some general like loading
Yeah.
sort of. I mean, we have skeleton, but maybe if we're reusing a lot of this, there's a way of having sort of a quick component. Anything else real quick? I guess this one, I feel like we've gone back and forth on it. It's not really that important. It doesn't reference any issues. But yeah, basically, in theory, you should not be able to have multiple IDs. But it's a lot of code to review for like a relatively small thing. And I don't know why we add these kinds of things. It's just like a lot of weird code. Like why do we need this? Like, shouldn't error field invoice number be enough? So yeah, it's like a lot of code. I think it's probably solves the issue, but may lower the quality of the code base, which isn't really what we're looking to do at the moment. Sean will look at these. I guess we can look at this one. Udit generally has some pretty good PRs. There's a lot of context to review. It's like different. There's like 3 different things. Okay, so one is so basically moving. Oh yeah, so he added tests and now he's updating this. We're basically getting rid of these pages on Flexile so that all of these kind of create actions happen in modals consistently, which I think is much better. Actually, even the invoice will go away and there'll be a modal that will take over it and be one place. So he edited it to be like this. So when you place a bid, he even added this step thing. So yeah, awesome. Overall, seems reasonable. I would say the design we could clean up. Lara can take a look at that. But generally, lots of code deleted. This is gonna lead to a lot of code added too. But I appreciate all the comments. A big thing I wanted to do is get all this stuff out of this crazy page.tsx file, which is nice. Now you just have this modal. He asked for help, so he knows that's kind of like the next step. That's positive. Yeah, it looks pretty good. He used an article for the doc. That's kind of cool. Semantic. I don't know this gap for, I guess, there's multiple components in here, so that's fine. Is there another gap for in this file that it's mimicking? No, so. And then there's a lot of code. So the biggest thing is, I guess that he said there are already tests for all of this stuff. So yeah, biggest thing is just the design stuff. I think there's kind of a lot of code that is related to this design. It seems like, could we have one step? Feels possible to me. I don't think we need multiple steps. I don't think we need a component just for this personally. That is my feeling. There is basically, this is one step, which is signing the letter of transmittal. Then there's these details that you submit a bid for, and then there's the submission. My feeling is we can combine all these into a single thing. This is really just a checkbox, effectively, like a signature. So I think the signature can be like here, kind of, and then this can all live in one place. I would like. The other thing is we now have the dialog stack. So if we want to pursue this, we should use the dialog stack. That's a component that we built for multimodals. So I'll let Laura kind of think on that. Oh, she already did. Oh, dialog stack. Great.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool. Well, if you want to see what this looks like, let's see if it opens. So yeah, you see the details. This is nice because you can basically remove a lot of like that whole top bar. Like that's another thing I really didn't like about this design. Where did it go? I lost it. Oh, I clicked on. This design is a little strange to me that you have all like this information. It should just be a table. Like in Flexile, we have this basically this system, right? You have like a header, actions on the top right, and the table. So this can simplify to the same thing.
Sure.
We don't need all this stuff, and then this will all live in the. This stuff is already in the list of buybacks, so it doesn't really add anything to have it here, and then we can rely on. These details will be in here. Is what I was saying. So yeah, you continue. You see this, you sign. And you can see the value of an amazing designer, hopefully, in the different like subtle changes in the layout and stuff. Also, one reason why using Tailwind instead of CSS design system, you can like make all these changes much more ad hoc and without being too worried that something will break. She did two different versions actually. She did this version and then she did this version. I actually like this version where you have to click, but if we do this, we would have to show what that looks like when you click that. Or she may have done it because at one point we were considering being able to like link to a Google Doc or something. So that's a question as an engineer I would have to like get clarity on. But yeah, it should look more like this. That's it. Way cleaner. Awesome. Well, that was 2 hours of reviewing stuff. Hopefully that was helpful to people and fun. I had fun anyway.
It was fun.
Much more fun than doing it alone, in my opinion. But awesome. Well, we'll do this again. Maybe we'll pick Gumroad or Helper or oh my God, there's comments on YouTube I forgot about. Anything worth discussing? Any questions?
No, I think we're good.
Awesome.
Great.
Sweet. We merged some stuff. So that's like, we went from 0 last week. I think it was 0 for 10. And now we are at what? Like 3
or 4.
Or 4 out of like 5 or 6 or 7 or so. Yeah. So yeah, things are getting better. Awesome. Cool. Great. Well, thanks Maya and Charang and Laura for showing up, and Urshad, of course, and see you all on the internet.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.